Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to walk you through how to interpret confidence interval in your MIDA AB test result, right? So on your MIDA AB test result, you will see a confidence interval column. And what exactly is a confidence interval is that it gives you the range of numbers that you will expect to get, or you expect your actual numbers to fall within when you deploy the new design or new changes. For example, when you look at the variant 1 conversions rate, you can see that the variant 1 has a conversions rate of 0.88 right now. So this doesn't mean that when you deploy variant 1's design, you will for sure get 0.88%. This is not exactly the case because this data comes from the sample size of around 2,000 users, right? So in this case, this is very helpful. This is why the confidence interval is very helpful to give you the worst case scenario as well as the best case scenario of where your actual conversions rate would fall within when you deploy the new changes, right? So the lower bound here stands for the lower bound 0.44 conversions rate here refers to the worst case scenario, and the upper bound 1.32% conversions rate means that in the best case scenario you will get a 1.32 conversions rate after you deploy the variant 1 design, right? At the confidence level of 95% means that there is still another 5% chances that your actual conversion rate would not fall within this confidence interval. There's still chances that the actual conversion rate will not fall within this confidence interval, but you can be 95% confident, right? And next, we look at the statistical significance value of variant 1, which is at 99.71%. So this means that there's still a 0.3 chances that the result are occurred by chances, but you can be 99.71% confident that this result that you're observing right now are not occur by random chances, right? And MIDA has declared this variant 1 as a statistical significance winner because given this statistical significance value of 99%, it meet your threshold or it meet your required confidence level of 95%, right? And then when you look at the improvement as well, the variant 1 has a huge leap of around 200%, 233% of improvement. So this is a meaningful leap and you can really feel confident about the change. All right, now let's move on to another examples of confidence interval where you see a different color, right? So the earlier example shows you a green color confidence interval, which means that it is a winning variance. And on the other hand, when you see a red color confidence interval, this means that it is a losing variant, right? And again, when we look at the range of the confidence interval, we see that the variant 1 in the worst case scenario, you get a 4.69 conversions rate, and even in the best case scenario, the variant 1 has a 5.29 conversions rate, which is still below the original control group conversions rate of 5.38%. So this is why the variant 1 is a losing variant. And next, we look at the statistical significance value of the losing variance. And given the confidence level required for this test is 90%, which means that ideally, the statistical significance value of the losing variant should be less than 10%, right? And in this case, the 6.71% means that the result that you observe right now could be due to randomness, right? And in other words, you can feel 93% confident that the result that you are observing right now are not due to randomness, and the losing variance, the variant 1 is indeed inferior to the winning variant control group, right? All right, let's move on to the last scenario of confidence interval example where you see a gray color confidence interval bar, right? So the gray color confidence interval bar simply means that your test does not have a clear result yet, so you might just want to let the test to keep running to collect more data points, right? And there are some instances as well where your experiment has multiple variations, like 4 variations, right? And if your test has been running for a while but still does not have a conclusive result yet, you might also want to consider simplify your experiment down to just 1 or 2 variants in order for the test to easier to detect the effect and improvements, right? And another thing that you can consider is just replicate the same test to see if your new test findings are similar to your initial test findings, right? Because usually there are some external factors that will affect your results, such as the season of the year might bring frustration to your website traffic. So you might want to just run the exactly same test to see if the findings of the new test are similar to this initial test. So if you have already tried options that we discussed just now, but still do not get a clear result, right? Perhaps you might just want to consider to go for the design, go for the variations that best align with your brand guidelines, right? And as a matter of fact, most of the A/B test experiment will get neutral result like this where we are not able to detect a significant difference between the original and your variance, right? So that simply just means that your your original design is just good enough. Maybe you also want to consider to experiment with different aspects of your page or different aspects of your website, right? So I hope this video helps, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.